Hey LEGO fans, and welcome back to another build. For this week's release, I decided to take a step back from the large sets and return to the Speed Champions line with this Ford GT Heritage Edition and Bronco R. I don't think it's any secret as to which one of these would win in a race, but it's not always about speed. For me, in this case, I thought my LEGO City was actually getting a little pretentious being loaded up with nothing but supercars, so I think the Bronco will be a nice addition. And the GT will of course look great along with the rest of my supercar display. And of course, before we can get a closer look at any of that, we need to get this box opened up, so we have inside, get this build underway, so we can start having a closer look at these two Fords. Now assembled, here we have two more Speed Champions to add to the collection, both of them from Ford, and while it's clear which one of these would win in a head-to-head race, each of these would actually dominate in their own field. The GT, being in the supercar family, is very much at home on a smooth paved surface where it would leave this large Bronco in its dust. Conversely, the Bronco is very comfortable off-road. Whether it be gravel, sand, mud, or whatever you want to throw at it, it's just going to go. Whereas the GT not only be left in the dust, but probably wouldn't be able to move more than a few feet before it got stuck. Starting with the Ford GT, this is a modern supercar with all the power and feature that one would expect, but everything about its styling is a throwback to the Ford GT40, the race car which won the Le Mans in 1969. As we'd expect from a supercar, and as we've seen in many Speed Champions previously, this Ford GT comes on a very wide wheelbase, being built on an 8-stud wide frame, has a very low profile, and minimal ground clearance to go with that high-performance suspension. Now to come in for a closer look, and as usual, starting right in the front, down at the nose of the car, there's a large air intake, which stretches almost as wide as the car itself. A little bit higher up from that, we have the headlights, which in this case are printed pieces, not stickers, which for this line is actually pretty interesting, which are located just in front of the large air intakes. And then, right in the center of all, we have that orange racing stripe that travels from bumper to bumper, and there's the large racing number 6, as it was on the original race car. Coming around to the passenger side, and starting off with the wheel, we can see we have 5-spoke rims with large disc brakes just behind that. Moving back to the door, we again see race car number 6 written here, and the door itself is mounted on a pleasing angle, as it slopes in towards the center of the body as you move back towards the rear of the vehicle. Continuing to make our way to the rear, and coming up to the top side, just behind the driver's cab, in that classic supercar styling, we have a little window here, giving us a view into the engine compartment. And then, all the way at the back of the car, we've got a pair of taillights, twin exhausts mounted right in the center and pretty high up, and the little license plate. Which brings us finally to the driver's side, which is pretty much identical as the passenger side. Once again having race car number 6, and those doors that slope inwards as the body progresses towards back, which I find looks pretty great. Removing the roof and getting a look at the interior, we see that we have seating for 2 in here. On the left, as we'd expect, there's a steering wheel, a pretty decent center console, and not too much on the right, but nothing is expected, so that's just fine. And now to the Bronco, which is a massive vehicle for the Speed Champions line. Certainly the largest I've seen to date, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's the largest Speed Champion vehicle to be released to date. Built on a 9-stud wide frame, the widest I've seen to date, and having massive wheels and high suspension, there's nothing low profile about this build. And despite being rather rough and rugged, it does have some pretty pleasing curves of its own. Down in the front end, the straight lines of this vehicle do have some pleasing curves in each corner. Down in the front center, it's reading Bronco right across the entire front, with R in a different color for Bronco R. Just below that, there's another sticker, which I'm not exactly sure what it represents. Perhaps it's part of the bumper, I'm not sure, because you got the blue bumper just beneath it, and this bumper is very high up. It makes it over the front of the hood of the GT. And then, coming up to the windshield, we find that there is no windshield. This is a serious off-road vehicle, it needs to be seriously durable, and a windshield just seems to be too fragile. In its place, we have 2 blue roll bars. And as we make our round to the passenger side, we again see we have another roll bar here. All part of the system to make sure that if the vehicle ever does roll over, the roof will not be crushed in. Just a little lower the passenger door, there's a little round piece here, which I believe to be the right-hand side of the dual exhaust. From the side here, we can also get a pretty good look at these massive tires, measuring 37 by 14 and providing some really high ground clearance. And then a little towards the back, it's clearly written 2069, which is a direct reference to the racing number of the vehicle that this kit is modeled after. Swinging around to the back, this vehicle has a very prominent and very distinguishing feature, having a cage that extends out the back, supporting 2 full-size spare wheels. It must be some pretty intense racing that this truck would require to have 2 full-size tires with such easy access. Finally, over on the driver's side, much as we'd expect, we have the same as we had on the passenger side. 2 very large wheels, race number 2069, the other half of that twin exhaust system, and another roll bar to protect the driver. Coming topside, there's a few details to see here. First off, all the way in the back, we have the race number, making it easier to identify this vehicle to the aerial camera crews that are covering the race. Moving a little forward, we have some air vents, I'm not exactly sure what those are for, but there they are, and then a horse logo. Very characteristic logo for the Bronco line. Removing the roof and exposing the interior, we can clearly see the 4 roll bars that will protect the humans within. Additionally, there's seating for 2, as we'd expect, a steering wheel on the left, and then a simple little center console right in the middle. And now to our minifigs, where we get 2, 1 male, 1 female. The guy who came with the GT is wearing a race outfit which I'm pretty sure is a throwback to the one worn by the driver who won the race in 1969. It has 2 stripes, one turquoise and one orange, matching the car, a small Ford emblem in the front, and a very large one in the back. The woman, the driver of the Bronco, is wearing an outfit that I find to be a little sleeker and a little more stylish, and also has some detailing as there's prints on the leg, unlike the guy. She also has a small Ford emblem in the front, a little smaller than the guy's, but more prominently, across the front and the back, slit in large letters, Bronco, each time having that same logo as was found on the top of the truck. And they both come with race helmets, although I think for the woman it's a little bit more important, because she doesn't have a windshield, and if you see on one of her faces, she's actually got some mud or something stuck on her face. I'd imagine she's having some fun times off-roading through the mud, wasn't wearing her helmet, and this is what happened. And here we have it, another Speed Champions duo. Both very welcome to my collection, and both being very much appreciated for the same reasons as I appreciate my other Speed Champions. They're both great toy cars. They roll around really easily, fit nicely in my hand, can take a little bit of punishment, and all of this is absolutely fantastic for playtime. As to display, they look pretty decent on their own, but if you have a Speed Champions collection, this actually looks pretty fantastic, and as I've mentioned before, it's a pretty inexpensive line to collect, so I think that's pretty appealing for anyone who wants to have a Lego collection on a budget. Additionally, it also looks great in a Lego city if you're building one. And as to parts reuse, it's pretty standard once again. Each of them has that car wheelbase, which is a great framework for starting any vehicle construction. They have some pretty cool wheels, and the GT has that nice cockpit glass. I also think it's worth mentioning that I found this particular Speed Champion build to be slightly less annoying when it comes to the stickers. There's still a lot of stickers, which I'm not really excited about, but they do make the car look pretty great. Although, in this build, there really wasn't much of those 3 stickers you have to line up over 3 pieces, or it just doesn't quite look right. The lining up of the stickers I found to be quite minimal, and having the headlight pieces on the GT printed was quite unusual and really appreciated. And additionally, there's no extra accessory that comes with this kit, which, if you've watched some of my other Speed Champion videos, you'll probably know is something that I appreciate, because most of these accessories I didn't really find to be that great, and I felt they were more a way of padding the park out than anything else, because once the cars are built, I never really wanted to keep those assembled anyway. so I'm not paying for those extra bricks, and I think that's just great. To the Speed Champions collectors out there, I'm pretty sure you decided you were going to buy this kit before even watching this video, but thanks for watching anyway. If you're looking for an inexpensive LEGO collection, like toy cars, like LEGO cars, or want to populate your LEGO city, I think these would be fantastic additions to your collection. And personally, I really appreciate having more than just sports cars, giving a little more variety to my LEGO city. And I do hope that you'll get to appreciate these fine cars for these or some other reasons that I would love if you would share in the comments below.